Hey, what's up guys? It's Kenneth here with the LEGO Republic, bringing you another Harry Potter set review. Today's set review will be set 75969, the Hogwarts Astronomy Tower with 971 pieces, slated for ages 9 and up. And it's always funny to me when they say 9+. So like if I'm 110 or like 200 or something, apparently it's still okay for me to play with this. Usually they say 9+ to like 9 to 99 or something, but it's just something I've noticed over sets that they aren't very consistent. They used to be 9 through 99, and now it's like just 9+. Like whoever's gonna live on for infinity, they're still gonna be able to play with this. I guess LEGO thinks that there are people out there that can live longer than a normal human. They probably think that a lot of people can live over 100. So for that reason, they took it off and just replaced it with 9+, which is very interesting. But before we get into the video, guys, make sure to like the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and make sure to hit the bell for notifications. And it just broke. So yeah, thank you guys. Let's get into this. Whoosh. I'm known for my sound effects, okay? Oh, but if we do take a look at the box, it does look good, right? Like, the box art is meant to sell, and this thing sells, right? You have the nice Harry Potter logo with people. It shows the back side of it, which is always nice. Then you have just the giant sheer tower in the front, which is always cool. And then, of course, it shows off the plethora of minifigs on the bottom, and Harry Potter's always amazing. They always give you a ton of minifigs. The back of the box is just going to be an in-depth look at the back of it, and then you have little places showing off all the features of the set. Some of them aren't even features, they're just showing it. But anyway, the top of the box does have all the minifigures doing random little things, which isn't too bad, and then the sides aren't anything special, and the bottom isn't anything special either. So let's get into this. This is actually a really nice set. This is one that, as soon as I saw the set pictures for it, I was like, wow, I really want to get it. And if you look back, the set, exactly when they came out, I wasn't a huge fan of the price. This goes for $100, and it has 971 pieces, so you could kind of see why they would put it for $100. It just didn't seem like all that much to me, but now that I have it in hand, and it also looks amazing, which is why I wanted to get it, and also, because I'm a completionist, so that's why I got this set. It looks amazing. Let's get into the minifigures. As with all Harry Potter sets, there are a ton of figures. We'll try and go pretty quickly through them because usually they're kind of a slow part of the review, and it's like a minute per figure usually, which is kind of annoying, so we're gonna try and go a little quicker with the figures. But you gotta say, I love the fact that Harry Potter gives you so many figures. So in this set, there's actually 8 figures. Hermione, and we'll get to all the rest of the figures, but Hermione here looks actually pretty decent, and you can see that she is in her white dress, typical hairpiece, although they keep changing the hairpiece for Hermione in the later, in the later books, because she puts her hair in all sorts of different positions, which is kind of nice, I guess, because you're getting a whole bunch of different hair pieces, whereas the young Hermione, you just get one hair piece and you get it like 5 different times. So that's kind of nice that they did that. You can see very nice printing. You'll see that the legs are actually dual molded, which is very nice. It means that they took 2 different colors of plastic and molded them into one. And then there's printing for her shoes down there, which is really cool. I like the silver, and it doesn't carry over to the back, which is a little unfortunate. But maybe you can just assume that she's wearing slippers or something, even though she's not. This is directly pulled from Slughorn's party, which is pulled from Harry Potter number 6. So if you pull up the hairpiece here, you will see that she does have an alternate face, this one looking slightly angry, and there's not really much else I can tell you about this figure. So Harry brought a friend with him today. This is Hedwig, his owl. Normally you'd say, Kenneth, this is nothing special, it's just another Hedwig. Well, actually, this Hedwig is very special because it is the new mold of Hedwig with Hedwig with its wings open, with his wings open. Her wings open. I can't get my pronouns. Anyway, with her wings open, which is really nice. And you can see the mold that went into this is really quite amazing compared to the other one. So now if you have both, you can sit one as if she's like perched somewhere and then as if she's flying. And you can like attach her to some invisible, like not invisible, but clear bricks and make it look like she's flying. It's a really nice thing. So that's Hedwig, and I was really excited to get that Hedwig. So now you can have both positions, which is just awesome. But Harry here, typical Harry. Like, I like to talk about how I don't like the Harrys very much. This camera will focus. There we go. So the Harrys that are in the later books, or the sets from the later books, are always kind of weird. You'll see that his eyebrows are very thick for some reason, and the quality of print on the face just isn't very good. Like, it's kind of fuzzy if you can see it. I don't know if you can. The print on the torso and legs is amazing. No complaints there. It looks really good. I might even steal it and use it as my new Lego Republic suit torso thing, because it looks just that good in my opinion. But like, when it comes down to it, it's just another Harry. There's really nothing fancy. We've seen this Harry like 5 different times at this point. Older Draco, though, on the other hand, Draco, he is new to the 2020 summer wave, and so this is obviously a little late in the process for me to be reviewing this and call him new, since he just came out in 2020 summer wave. But the only other set he comes in, and he might not have the same torso, I'm not exactly sure, is another set from the 2020 summer wave, and it's not the Room of Requirement, it's the accessory pack, which isn't a very good set in my opinion, because it's like super expensive, and it's like a battle pack but with named figures. It's kind of weird. I don't really like it that much, but here you get nice Slytherin robes, nice Draco to add to the collection. This is quite a classic character. I'm glad to have him in the collection. You'll see that hair is just strikingly blonde, and then on the back you have his angry face. So yeah, Draco. With a smirk that looks like it belongs to Draco Malfoy, it's Ron Weasley, and he is in regular clothes. If you notice in the films of Harry Potter movies, in the later films, they kind of changed directors, and the filmmaker of the later films decided that he wanted them to not wear Hogwarts robes all the time. So you'll see a whole lot more in the later sets of not Hogwarts robes and just regular clothing. So kind of weird, but I mean, I bet too many people didn't notice in the movie, but that's why you're getting all sorts of different clothes for all these figures. This is Ron Weasley. He looks pretty good in that you'll see his happy, smiling face, and we'll show his back face, which is very much like Slughorn. It looks like Slughorn's, but it's not. Very nice printing. And Draco, Ron Weasley is actually smirking because of Lavender Brown, his girlfriend in the film, who happens to be right here in the set with him, and the box art shows them like going somewhere and doing something. I'm not really sure, but you can see her torso print there. Pretty basic, I guess. What's interesting about her figure, though, is her hairpiece. So this hairpiece, you'll actually see, it's a little hard for me to get off because it's actually made of rubber. This is a hairpiece from Lego Friends, and I never thought I would see it in Harry Potter. I also don't know why they don't just make this into hard plastic, but the light rubbery plastic is what they went for. So there's her back face. Very interesting. I guess the rubber allowed them to put the bow in the back. I don't really see why that's necessary, but maybe all the girls who are buying this set really needed that bow and hairpiece. Next up, Whiten Neville. It's kind of interesting to be getting this figure since it's only a thing that's in the movie and not in the book, I'm pretty sure. And also it's only for like this one scene, so maybe it's cool if you're into exclusive figures and you like this exclusive figure. It's Whiten Neville, and what's really cool about him is his little shield piece, which has the drinks on it, of course, but if you take it off, it's just a regular shield piece. So if you have some Lego castle and you want to use this as a shield, then it's literally not a problem to just take it off and not include it in the set, because unless you're playing that it's a party, which is really hard to play, by the way, when they can't even drink the stuff or eat the stuff. You could just use it however you want, which is really cool. And then he looks kind of confused. I'm not sure what's up with his expression, but it's just kind of funny. And then you have his torso there, nice white torso. His hair, I don't know what is up with his hair. I think they used a pre-existing hairpiece for him, and it doesn't look the greatest in my opinion. It's also kind of on there wrong, I guess. If you pull it up, you'll see his back face, which looked kind of creepy there for a second, and still kind of does. I don't really know what's up with this figure. I wouldn't say it's the best figure. It's probably the worst one out of all of them, but it's really funny when you look at it. Next up, we have Luna Lovegood, and they put out a lot of Lunas for the sets from the later books, and each one is a little different. She does wear purple a lot, I've noticed. But what's cool about this Luna is she has a different hairpiece than I think a few others of the Lunas. This one, actually, you'll see her hairpiece. It looks a little weird with the gap there, but I believe that's so that she can sit down in a chair without getting her hair getting in the way of it, because it is hard plastic, unlike Lavender Brown. So she would not be able to sit in a chair if that hair was pressed up against her back. But I don't know, that the little gap there is kind of annoying. But I guess I'll get over it. Dual molded legs, very nice for this figure. I appreciate the legs, and they go to the back too. So it looks like she's wearing really high boots, which looks a whole lot better than the shoes they tried to put on Hermione. Pop that up, you'll see her other face, which doesn't look too bad either. So, good figure, this Luna Lovegood. The best figure, in my opinion, is Professor Slughorn. He just looks like an old guy who wants to have fun all the time. So it's really awesome. If we zoom in on his print there, it's quite an amazing print. I would just like to take a little while just to compliment the print. It just looks so good. It doesn't do a great job of making him look fat, because he's fat in the film, if you didn't know. I know a lot about Harry Potter. One might even call me a nerd. But that print is just so good, in my opinion. Let's take a look at the other side. Not as amazing, but still, decent. If we zoom out for a second, no dual molded legs, but that's fine. You have this hairpiece and his alternate face. Doesn't look too bad either. He has two expressions, you can alternate them out. Maybe when he's talking to Harry about the Tom Riddle, maybe you could have him with this expression. I think it was a nice expression for them to include for Professor Slughorn, the greatest minifigure in this set. There's also a little table build, and on this table is a chocolate fountain. You can see that chocolate fountain right here. It is not too bad looking at all. And then you just have a bunch of other sweets and stuff. It looks like maybe some waffles, like some tiny waffles or something. And then maybe some donuts or pastries, some glasses, and then, little probably cupcakes or something. Little nice build. It goes great with the clock tower builds, little extra builds too. So if you have both of them, that works awesome. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look at the three different sections here. So the first section is the little greenhouse over here, and you can just detach it by pulling off. It's attached by a Technic pin, like most of this stuff. And if you look at the greenhouse, at first glance it doesn't look too special, but it is kind of cool. Normally greenhouses are like kind of clear, but this one is actually made out of tan. I'm not sure how I like that. It's like a dark orange tan. I don't know exactly what color or shade of plastic it is, but it doesn't look too bad. Also, I believe that's maybe a new color right there. I'm not sure. It's definitely different or not very popular these days in LEGO sets. But what's cool about this is you can actually just pull this up right here, and this is just the roof of the greenhouse. So you can actually, get your fingers in there and play with it. And also, if you turn it around, there's a little arch and the door on the front. So you could open the door, use that to play with it, use the back to play with it, and then here, if you wanted to put figures in there, it's like super easy, barely an inconvenience. And you can put your figures in there. There's no Professor Sprout to go with that, but there's Professor Sprout's been in a lot of things, so I understand. If you really wanted a Professor Sprout, go buy the Herbology Classroom that just came out January 2021, sorry. So that's really all there is for the greenhouse. Next up, on the first level, we have the entryway, and actually this Technic connection is you're gonna have to pull back on the tower, which actually is turning out to be a little harder than I expected. There we go. Get the tower out of the way. This is the entrance, and I think it looks rather good. We could take anyone you really wanted. Let's take Ron, but let's take a look at the back. So if we turn this around, you can see the door right there, and just like any other Lego door, it can open up just like so, and Ron can fit through the door. And you can close the door. There's a nice chandelier detail right there. About 20 studs for you to put people there. And then, of course, there's the 2 desks. Obviously, we have Lavender Brown here sitting in one of them. And then on the other desk, on the box art, it shows this little book, which is actually supposed to be advanced potion making, and I believe that's an exclusive print on the front there. It's not a print, sorry, sticker. And then there's like 2 of them in the set, so it's different from the Wingardium Leviosa one, but still, you know, just gibberish, so nothing too fancy. You'll see that these desks, if I pull Lavender off of it, these desks are exactly the same on either side, except the colors of the potions are a little different. There are some nice exclusive prints on these things. The little ones in the back, there's like a dragonfly and a butterfly, I think. So that's kind of neat, but you can't really see them because they're translucent, so it's kind of annoying. But I guess it's nice that they put that in there. So, you know, you can have your potions classroom, which Professor Slughorn is supposed to be teaching. So right now we're just using it as a date spot for Ron and Lav. This tower has so many sections. So we're going to start here with the bottom, and then we might change camera angles as we get closer to the top. So if we turn the tower around, as you saw in the front, it's pretty basic on the front, just, you know, the tan color and everything. You can put a minifigure through here, which is kind of nice, except it's going to be a little hard to get access to this little interior here, but that looks like about 30 studs for you to put a minifigure on, and a little more once you include the outsides. And then there's like this weird looking tree. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to be, but it is a weird looking tree. And then, of course, you have those places where you can't put a minifigure, and it's supposed to be like stones. It's just the flat tiles. Nothing too special about that. The tree, I don't really know what kind of a tree it is, but it looks really cool. It's kind of giving me Chinese New Year vibes. So if you've seen the Chinese New Year sets, I believe that's the exact piece that they use in there. I'm not really sure what that's supposed to represent, but yeah, that's that. The next room in the tower is going to be Slughorn's office, and you'll see that they put these white frames here to give it structural support. It also kind of ruins the look of the tower, but to me it's not a huge deal. I don't mind them, actually, and even if it looks bad, I like to have everything like complete usually, and I don't make modifications. Don't look at my Clone Turbo Tank video on that. But I plan to leave the white frames. I know some people have taken them out, and good for them if they really hate the white frames, but the white frames, they don't really do much to me, and they must provide some structural support, so I'm totally fine with that. With that being said, they do kind of get in the way, and you can't really access this room. Luckily, LEGO thought about that, and so they made a compromise. So basically, you can just, if I get this right, pull the entire top off. I was scared of destroying it, but I shouldn't have been scared of destroying it. So we'll take a look at the top too. Okay, so Slughorn's office here, you'll see it has quite the little space there. There's not much going on. You have a little neat sticker in the back, and his desk, which is decent. You can take him and put him in his chair. There is a chair back there, And he looks, you know, rather nice in there. You have this little letter on the table, which he could be writing, and then there is a little candelabra or something in there, along with another green bottle, and then a goblet, so that's pretty cool. It reminds me of The King and the King's Castle. That came out in 2013. That was a while ago. But yeah, you can have Slughorn in his office. There's not much else you can do with this. Like, honestly, there's not much else you could put in there. Next up is my favorite room of this entire set. It's the Ravenclaw dormitory. So what you've got here in the Ravenclaw dormitory is you have this little sliding bookshelf. I'm not sure if it's supposed to slide, but I kind of like sliding it. Basically, you have two things in here. You have another The Boy Who Lived Daily Prophet printed tile. Very nice, but those are pretty common, so nothing crazy. And then this, I don't remember what this is supposed to be, but it's some sort of other Harry Potter book, and it has the same sticker for writing on it as the other book did. And then they both kind of just slide into the bookshelf like so, and it holds them in there pretty well. So this is for Luna Lovegood, and it's kind of weird because there's two beds, but there's no other Ravenclaws in the set. So you can take Luna Lovegood. As you can see, there's a little place to write a letter there, and some ink and a quill. There are some very nice beds, which are my favorite, as well as that super nice sticker in the back. I'm a Ravenclaw, if you guys can't tell, and I am a fan of this room. This might be one of the main reasons I was super excited about the set. You can fit, you know, Luna into the bed there. There's not anything really to hold her onto it, so she's kind of just gonna sit there, which is kind of like a downgrade, in my opinion, from the Gryffindor dormitory that we saw in the Whomping Willow set, because that set, they had actual things to hold their legs in the bed, and so they wouldn't fall out. This one doesn't have that, which is a bit unfortunate, so they're just going to be sliding around. And it's in a tower, so it's like if you move the tower and there's people in the beds, they're definitely falling off. That's not a very nice feature, but I suppose it can't be helped. Up here is the next part of the tower. I don't really know what to call this part. I just call this the Dumbledore part because I assume this is where the whole thing with Dumbledore happened. I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but I suppose you could put your Harry Potter minifigure and your Draco minifigure and your not included Dumbledore minifigure. Why is it not included? Why is Dumbledore not included? That's my one big thing about this. Dumbledore should be in this tower, right? Like, he just should be. The lightning struck tower, like, that's literally what this whole thing is. I don't know why he's not in the set. It's kind of annoying. But you could set your figures up here. It's just nice because there's a lot of space for you to put your figures. And then you have this little, like, weird Saturn space thing going on in the background. Not really sure what that is, but it looks cool. And at the very top, we have this little telescope station. Now, something that is kind of interesting about this telescope station, I mean, it just looks like a regular telescope. You put your eye in it, you know. You can have a figure do this, and then there's like some scrolls detailing some constellations, which is cool. But what's really weird to me about this is on the box art, you see that blue piece right there that's holding up the telescope? That blue piece is not on the box art whatsoever. If you go and check, it's not there. And then in the instructions, it first has that piece being blue, and then later switches it to tan for some reason. So there's a lot of weird stuff going on with that piece right there. On the box art, it looks like it's floating, and in the instructions, it's weird. Just a little funny thing that I noticed. Here are both the tower sections when they are on the ground and right next to each other. You would just take this one to put it back on and plop it right on top of there, and that's how you put it back together. What I find the most appealing about this set is how the tower looks. The tower is just an amazing build. I don't really know why it looks so good, but it looks really good in my opinion. And that's just me. I am a little uncertain as to why they would change up the the designs. On the first few castles, this stuff would have been tan. Now it's green, and then the tops used to not be as green, but now they are. But all in all, that is for my all of them together video. This is just showing off this one set and this set with it together. I love the green and the gray and the tan together. It looks beautiful. This tower is giant. Like I said, it's over a base plate tall, and it just looks so cool. I just can't even put into words how cool it looks. And then when you add the front onto it, and I added the greenhouse just because why not? It doesn't really change too much at the look. And you look at this entire thing and it's massive, right? Like, this tower is really solid. It's a super solid tower. It's 8 by 8 on the main part, and then it has this whole other second section, which is just looks like it just comes out the side, which is just super cool. And then the front doors look pretty awesome as well, with those spires and the cool green on the tower. So all in all, I think this set for looks is a 10 out of 10. The set for minifigures is probably lacking. We'll say like a 6 or something, which averages this out to be around an 8 out of 10, which isn't too bad. I guess I forgot this little tiny build too, which you can't even see. It's the little chocolate fountain thing. It's in there too. All in all, yeah, probably 8 out of 10 for this set. It's definitely a must-have if you're trying to collect all the Harry Potter castles, because it's just a really big tower. It's the biggest tower of all the Harry Potter castles so far. So if you want to actually make it look really awesome, this tower is definitely needed for that. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button, and hit the bell for notifications. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.